Hey guys, welcome to Opening Act. My name is Keo Kosha, and today we're gonna be doing an in-depth review of the Clot Air Jordan 14. Thanks so much for joining us. If you are enjoying our content, whether it be on the sneaker side or the cocktails and drinks and coffee side, I do encourage you, please do click the subscribe button. It goes a long way. It goes a long way for us if you click that button and you also click the thumbs up button if you are enjoying the videos. And while you are doing me these favors, why don't you go ahead and follow along on Instagram. I'm at Keo Kosha on Instagram. Follow at Ajimamag on Instagram and follow at Honeycomb Manila, which is our studio in Double Dragon Plaza. Alright, so let's get right into it and let's talk about this sneaker. This is the Clot Air Jordan 14 Low. Inside, we actually did another unboxing where we opened up a bunch of stuff, so I'm not going to go too deep into this card because we talked there, but what you have is a Terracotta warrior playing with a Clot branded basketball and wearing the sneaker that's inside this box. So I'll put that down there. And here's the sneaker. This is the Clot X Air Jordan 14 Low. So Clot is a brand by founder Edison Chen, and it's based out of Hong Kong. Their HQ and their offices are in Hong Kong, which is one of my favorite cities. I spent a lot of time living in Hong Kong. And in recent years spent a lot of time working in Hong Kong. And so this is a collaboration shoe between Clot, the brand of apparel that is sold in those juice stores. So Clot is a streetwear brand founded by Edison Chen, who has a very interesting story, and we'll go into that a bit later. But first, let's take a deep dive and look into this sneaker. This is the Air Jordan 14 Low version. Now the Air Jordan 14 Low came out at the same time or a few months after the Air Jordan 14 when Michael Jordan won his 6th championship with the Bulls and then retired that second time. Michael Jordan would go on to retire 3 times. So he wins 3 championships, he wins another 3 championships, and then he retires 3 times in total. And this was a sneaker that came out after the high version, which was the shoe that he wore in that final championship series versus the Utah Jazz. Most famous colorway, of course, for that is the Last Shot. Now the Air Jordan 14 Low, before we talk about the differences that are made in this Clot version, featured all of the signature features of the original Air Jordan High. The Air Jordan 14 High was inspired by a Ferrari. I think it was a Ferrari F355 F1. Tinker Hatfield took inspiration from that sports car, an Italian sports car, and wanted to make a light and fast sneaker for Michael Jordan in that year, which I believe was 1998. So a lot of those features that came from the Air Jordan 14 High make it into Air Jordan 14 Low, starting with the lightweight nature of the outsole. You have a herringbone traction outsole and a TPU shank plate that's replacing the carbon fiber shank plate that was in previous models. Polyurethane in the midsole, and then tech spec wise, there is a air zoom unit in the heel and the forefoot of this sneaker, although the original one had air zoom in the heel and I think articulated zoom in the forefoot, which is kind of, I guess, what you could call similar to what Zoom Turbo is now, maybe not quite, closer to what you find in the Pegasus 37 right now, which has a React and then kind of these bags that are sewn and give you directional bounce inside of your air unit. And then styling wise, you had this is a polyurethane midsole painted in this sneaker. It's in this nice clay color, it's terracotta color, and then the teeth that come up to really remind you of that Italian styling. On the medial side, you actually have those same features show up, and then you have over here an air scoop, which is on an engine, on a sports car engine. You have these air scoops in the side of the vehicle to funnel oxygen and air into the engine and increase the combustion of the motor. But in this sneaker, it's used to ventilate the shoe. For Air Jordan 14's ventilation is not a strong point. It's not like the 34 where it's all mesh. This one, you know, particularly on the sneaker, it's made of, you know, fully of leather, and the highs were also made of leather. Moving up to the upper, we have a very premium all suede upper. At first I thought that some sections would not be suede, but they are all suede. Let's start on the toe, and you have this very closer to a kind of like a mocha cappuccino colored nappy suede with the Jordan Jumpman embroidered here in the middle of the toe. And then moving back, you see this tonal shift onto the main side panel of the upper. This is also done in suede with kind of the terracotta armor of those terracotta soldiers heavily featured on this section of the sneaker. And you see it's sewn in with this running stitch that goes all the way up and down the side. A little Easter egg. I don't know if this is the case, but I just found it to be the case and I thought it was cute. I don't know if they did this on purpose, but the dots do have 2 and 3 configurations. So it's 2 dots here and 3 dots there. Of course, 23, Michael Jordan's number. I don't know if that's the case, but maybe it is, maybe it is. And as you move back, you get to the section where there would be a Jumpman logo, but it's been removed from here just to kind of have this very clean finish to the design of the sneaker, and so it just looks like a shield. So that's one of the places that the Jumpman does not appear on this sneaker. The Air Jordan 14 famously had 14 Jumpmans on the sneaker, so you don't have the 14 Jumpmans on this, specifically because that's removed there and it doesn't appear on the insole. For color selection, I really like that they went with these 2 colors of the terracotta. I mean, there are 3 colors here, but you have the brown, which is tonal. You have the light brown around the collar, the tongue, and the side panels, and then that nappy suede on the toe, and these are all in shades of brown. But then you have this pop of red orange, and that's a terracotta color that's on the box and also around these sections that go around the side of the midsole. And I thought that that was a really good interpretation of like the different stages of clay, where you have the raw clay before it's formed, making up those orange sections, and then the clay as solidified into the warrior. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's kind of how this spoke to me as, you know, kind of from an artistic point of view. Moving further up on the upper, you have this collar section that runs all the way around from the lateral to the medial side, and that is also done with a very light kind of sand colored suede, and it's gorgeous. The quality on this sneaker is insane. 3 different levels of suede, and just having them be this tonal monochromatic shift really highlights the difference in textures that they use, and it brings this element of luxury to the sneaker. The eyelets over here are done in a brass, so the lace tips are also done kind of in this dark brass color, and then the lace tips have a Jumpman on them as well. Also in brass, hanging off the back, is this little good luck coin. These launch on Chinese New Year in 2021, which is when we are taping this. I'm actually taping this right on Chinese New Year. And this little charm just hangs on the back as a good luck charm over that black rubber, again inspired by that Ferrari 355 F1. You have the race car, you know, tire tread on the back. On the tongue, one says Jordan, the other says Clot, and then on the insole, they are kind of opposites. On the one that says Clot, on the insole it has a Jumpman, and then on the one that says Jordan on the inside it says Clot. So both sneakers have both logos on them. Let's take out this shoe tree and pull out the insole. So the insole of the Air Jordan 14, I think, was polyurethane to begin with. Now it has this kind of lighter foam, and then this seems to be polyurethane in kind of the impact zones of your foot to provide just a little extra bit of comfort when you are wearing these. I don't think anyone is going to be purchasing this sneaker to hoop in. This is, I would say, a lifestyle, casual collaboration sneaker. Materials wise, these are top notch. I mean, I would have liked a little bit more. It costs $200 retail here in the Philippines. It's 10,100 pesos, pretty much 10,000 pesos. I would say that this is a casual lifestyle shoe, and for that purpose, they're comfortable. My comment on the Jordan 14 is that usually they're warm because you're doing sports in them. Because you're not going to be doing sports in this particular pair, it's fine. They look great. This is a great lifestyle streetwear look for this sneaker. If you do want to hoop in a Clot collaboration, they actually have a Jordan 35 that they're launching at the same time as this. For sizing, go true to size. They fit perfectly 1:1 fit. I'm a size 9.5 and they fit exactly like a size 9.5. No need to go up half a size, no need to go down half a size. True to size, just right. And so that was an in-depth look at the Air Jordan 14 Low X Clot in the Terracotta colorway. I do want to take a minute to talk a bit about Edison Chen and Juice Store. There's a really good documentary on YouTube. You can look it up. It's on the Vice News, I think, or Vice Asia YouTube page. But you can just look it up, Edison Chen, and it's a 3-part documentary, about an hour long in total, or an hour and a half long in total, about his life after his sex scandal. There's no other way to put it. A few years back, Edison had some consensual photos that he had taken, that were kind of compromising between him and a number of young female actresses in Hong Kong. And very controversially, there were police raids and all this stuff for people who had that content. There was, all this crazy stuff happened. There were suicide attempts. In the midst of it all, Edison apologized. He had this press conference, said sorry to all the people who were affected. And then he was kind of abandoned by the entertainment industry there, left out to dry. And it was a situation where Edison really learned who his friends were. And from that point on, the documentary follows him, and it goes through him setting up Clot and Juice and his store in LA, which was right next door to Union LA. I think it's Union LA, Riff LA, I think. And then his store were all in the same block. Or it was the same building, and they were A and B, and he was C. So he just named the store the name of, I think it was something like 315 something C. And there's an interesting part that I really liked in that documentary where he talks about how when people have issues with his rap or his music, his clothing, his store, his art, that he can take the criticism and he can turn it into something, and he can accept that because it's him. It's something that he actually did, compared to the times when he was just kind of a robot in the entertainment industry of his country, which was Hong Kong and China. That scandal also saw him get drastically cut from Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. In the beginning of The Dark Knight that takes place in Hong Kong, he's still in that movie, but it's drastically shrunken down, his role. And that was an effect of that scandal coming out. And then from that point on, he just rebuilds his life, comes out, and kind of surprises everyone with what he can do on his own. And for all of the people working in streetwear and street culture here in Asia, in Southeast Asia specifically, and how he tied in the West and connected the West and the East together, I think it's a really interesting case study, not to copy, but to understand what he did and how he did it. And it's a good example as well that, failure or, being abandoned, a loser in the eyes of the industry, of your peers, it's not necessarily the end. You can come out and be the warrior and start again. Alright, so that's a little bit about Clot, a little bit about the Air Jordan 14, a lot about the Air Jordan 14 Low Clot. What do you think of this sneaker? What do you think of Edison Chen and Clot? I'm a big fan. My favorite store, I like the one in Taipei. I kind of just stumbled upon it. The one in Hong Kong is across one of my favorite places to get coffee. It's a cafe that's embedded inside a furniture store called Galleon. But they have a cafe that's run by one of my favorite roasters, in the world, which is UCR, Urban Coffee Roasters in Hong Kong. So show up a little bit earlier in the morning and have some coffee in UCR, and then when Clot opens its doors, you can cross the street and go visit Clot and see. And Clot is an interesting brand where they do a lot of t-shirts, but every design is treated as a limited, like a limited run print work of art. And yeah, great case study for working in this industry, in this area of the world. Going out and doing it on your own, really. Going out and doing it on your own. There's some parallel here to what's happening with Nadine, right? All right, so what do you think of these sneakers? Let me know. Let me know on Instagram. Send me a DM. My name is @Kosho on Instagram. Follow @AjimaMag on Instagram as well. The blog is ajima.com. And follow along the Instagram of this place here, our studio, Honeycomb Manila in Double Dragon Plaza, Pasay City, the Philippines. All right. Please do subscribe, means a lot to us. You can click on the button somewhere here to subscribe, and then there should be some videos of other reviews and stuff that we've done, other content we've done about sneakers and coffee and cocktails. I wish you guys good luck, good health. Happy Chinese New Year. Peace.